Hey guys, this is Adam Harmless here. I thought today I would talk about my Zine Revolution. Eh. Yeah. Okay, this is a very lo-fi affair. I have a phone taped to a button maker. See what I'm gonna handle no shit. Okay, so I have my phone taped to a button maker over this guillotine chopper thing. I'm not gonna be chopping anything right now, but I'm wasting time. I'm new to this. So, what do I mean when I say my Zine Revolution? Well, I have been an artiste, a zinester, my entire life. I have a band called Tiger Hellside. There's no picture of me in this. Anyway, that's not me either. Anyway, I'm in a band called Tiger Hellside. I also do solo work as Adam Harmless. I have an industrial project with Jake Paradox called Kazapstrophe. I have another band called The Angry Letters. I got lots of music stuff going on, but I've really been more about writing and visual art. That's been my thing my entire life. And I've been making zines my entire life. Made zines before I even knew what zines were. I just make little booklets. I'd get together with friends. I'd get with other people who were arty, and we'd make little collections of stuff. Poetry and just drawings and whatever. Collages. I made a zine in high school called Teenage Lobotomy, named after the Ramones classic. And I made a zine with my wife, Darlene Vile, in college called Sync Approach. Thought that was a pretty cute little zine, pretty cool. And since then, I've regularly been doing the Gad zine. That is a zine about, it's about indie music, indie art, lots of punk rock, lots of hardcore and stuff, but not just that. It's about indie art in general, lots of indie stuff. Here's issue 24. Let's see. It's your classic, old school, black and white, photocopied zine. I kept it full size. I didn't fold any paper, make it digest or anything like that. So I wanted it to be as simple as possible. It stands out because it looks like a damn magazine when you hand it to somebody at a show. And I want it to be very, very simple so other people can make their own copies. And to show to people, hey, it's not that hard to make these. So see, it did. Nice. Beautiful. Nobody's gonna like watching this video. So, what we have here is the Gad zine. So that's what I've been doing regularly. Sometimes I do other zines called the Bad zine, and I just make other zines for fun. Well, I started thinking about how I wished other people were making zines. My friend Dakota Gillen makes zines. I have a friend named Andrew Beaumont. He does zines. And there's several other people who do zines. I know people who used to do zines. I know people who do chapbooks and stuff. But there's not really that many people around me doing zines, and I've always wanted to encourage people to do it. So I started thinking, why don't I prove how easy it is to make zines by just committing to making a zine. One zine, I have to complete one zine every week for an entire year. So that's 52 weeks. I have to complete a zine. Now some stuff I've already started on. I can take bits and pieces of stuff I already have. And Gad zines, they counted towards it too. Gad zines are a collaborative effort made with other friends and creative types. So like a lot of stuff you're seeing as I'm flipping through here, it's not done by me, it's made by other people. By the way, we have Alabama Underground Music Directory at the back. That's a way for people to know about bands that are underground in Alabama. Pretty cool. We have a website too. I'll put a link in the info thing, where we put the stuff, whatever. All right, so I had this idea, like, okay, we'll make some. I'll make a zine every week for a year. I know I can do it because a zine can be anything. A zine is just basically a homemade magazine. That's the simplest definition. Homemade magazine, but it can contain anything, and it could be one page, it could be several pages, it could be color, it could be black and white, it could be handwritten, it could be a limited edition of 1, it could be 1,000. Do as much as you want, however you want. It could be any shape, any size, any material. That's the beautiful part of zines. That's why I say anybody can do it. Anybody can make a zine because it's anything. I don't know why I did this, but I decided to make a type of zine that I've never made before, and it's one that you'll see lots of videos of. A lot of people consider this to be like, this is how you do a zine, but it's taking a single page and folding it over, and it one sheet of paper, folding it over, and it turns into a little booklet as you fold it around. And I thought, I've never done one of those. Those are cute. I'll do one. I don't know why I never did one. They're not too complicated, but I just never did. So my first one was my first zine. This is what this one's about. But damn, future proof. Okay, that's what it looks like now, future proof. When it started, it was more like this. It's kind of more faded, but I decided to like it better, darker and bolder. To see, it's just one of those little booklet thingies that goes like this. See, fold over, and I'll deconstruct it. Oh no. Whoop. See, it's just one single page. You can put stuff on the back. I'm tempted to do that every time I make one of these. But anyway, that's the deal with that. I'm not gonna make a video. Well, this isn't a video on how to make one of these, but here's what the source copy looks like. See, I just took a piece of paper and I drew stuff and cut out stuff. But damn, future proof. My first mini zine. This is about living in the future. When I was a kid, I didn't for a second believe that we would have flying cars in the next millennium. Growing up in 1980s/90s Alabama, the dominant males more resembled Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble than George Jetson, and there's a pretty wide gap between their eras. There was some neato tech, but most of it was more clever than universe altering. We're talking pre-information superhighway. I didn't think we'd be in a Mad Max-esque future either. I do hear Tina Turner's song from the Beyond Thunderdome soundtrack blasting from shopping center Muzak speakers all the time, so maybe we're closer to that. I can see it. I for certain thought there would be a lot more brutalist structures and backlit banged up utility vehicles and repurposed food trucks driving around them. We'd have stacks of CRT televisions with shaking reception strapped to those vehicles, sharing the latest state propaganda mixed with even wavier rebellious revelations. Alright, that's what I thought. Here is kind of a little bit of prose. I can see all my surroundings, but I'm invisible. Light passes through me sneering, confident and self-righteous. I can detect every signal flying by, but I'm illiterate. Wind spins the mountains, the temple's jagged teeth. And then here's some more. You get 3 square meals in square containers, surveillance footage. Ugh. You get 3 square meals in square containers, surveillance footage, dancing blur. And here's the back. This guy's like caught in a woo. So, yep, this was my very first mini zine of this style. I think it turned out pretty good. Like I said, originally I had it like kind of lighter. I've darkened it since then. You'll notice how there's this weird, it looks like cloth here. That's because I used shiny markers when doing this. You can see the light kind of reflecting off of it. So when I did that, I didn't think about it at the time, but then when I scanned it, it came out all wavy looking, and I was like, man, that's awesome. So I went with it. I'm actually going to use it to make more projects. I really like it. But anyway, this was my first of 52 zines in my Zine Revolution.